everyone. Thank you for hanging out today, this Sunday, man. It is the comic book community shout out show. I was having some technical difficulties with the internet, and then I thought I had all my notes saved, and I lost all my notes, but I was able to kind of retrieve them in some way, shape, and form, whatever. But we're ready to rock and roll, man. So thank you everyone for hanging out right now. Once again, this is the comic book community shout out show where I go out there and I go try to find channels under 1,000 that put out, or under 1,000 subscribers, should I say, that put out great content that maybe people don't know. And I want to give them a shout out. So that's what I do every Sunday at 4 o'clock. So here I am right now. We're going to have a very special guest. I sent the invite out to Exploding Earth Comics. They're from Toronto, Canada. So they'll be jumping on the show shortly. But right away, I have to say what's up to everyone in the chat. Let's kick it off right now with just a little podcast. What is going on? The Comic Assassin. What is up, my brother? And let's see. Comic Shop News is in the house. What is going on? Getting a chance to check the live show. All right. Hopefully this hurricane won't be too strong, and it looks like it's taking a turn, so we may not get hit that hard. But things could change. It's a hurricane. We don't know. So up there goes Perry Comics in the house. What's going on, Perry? Whew. I hope you guys can hear me fine. So oh my God, there goes Perry. And also Perry's Gaming. So check out Perry's Gaming. He does Perry does comics, not only that, but he does gaming as well. So check out his channel for gaming if you're into stuff like that. So right off the bat, I just want to say, if you guys missed the show last night, we had Comic Tom in the house. Feel free to check out the replay. And we had a great time. And Comic Tom was a great guy in the community. So I just want to mention that real quick. And Perry was there. Jeffrey was supposed to be there, but he was working. So things happen, man. Things happen. But let's see what we got going on here. Let's go to the shout outs. And man, I had everything ready, and then my notes were just like, so hopefully this is good enough what I got here. But at number one, you can find this channel, Golden Apple Comics. 132 subscribers, guys. 132. This is a store, LCS, that's been serving Los Angeles for 40 years. 40 years, man. 40 years they've been serving Los Angeles. Great comics, great people. But in their store, man, they're just hanging out. You got this group of guys just hanging out, just chilling, man. Just chilling, talking about comics, movies. And, yo, if I'm ever in Los Angeles, I'm swinging by Golden Apple Comics because it's just an environment that I felt like I want to be there and hang out with these guys. So that was at number one. At number one, we had Golden Apple Comics, 132 subscribers, guys. So feel free to check them out. All right. If you haven't already, should I say. And I was checking to see if they have an Instagram. I'm not too sure. So I wanted to just mention that. And right now, I just saw Exploding Earth Comics. He was there. He probably backed out. He's probably fixing something. But hey, guys, yo, I hope everyone's doing well today, this Sunday. We got this hurricane. Hopefully it's going to miss us, but we never know, man. We never know. Oh, there it is. Comic book lurkers in the house. He's lurking. He's got all his channels rocking and rolling. Perry Comic does. Guys, Metarog in the house. My good friend Metarog. He's a great homie in the community. And here he is. He's also lurking. Yep. Oh, he's lurking at the same time. So he's watching me. He's probably doing a show at the same time. Oh my God. What we got going here? Just a little podcast. Slap that like button. He says slap that like button. Thank you, sir. And we got good afternoon, folks. Glitter and duct tape in the house. Thank you, sir. And we got CTT. We're in the house, man. The Comic Jabronis in the house, man. Yo, another great member of the community. Oh my God. Silver Hair Bronze Age Babe Comics. Yo, she is awesome. Puts out great stuff. And her channel speaks for itself. But right now, I'm going to jump into number two shout out. And then we'll bring in our special guest. So, sir, Exploding Earth Comics, just hang in there for me one more second. At number 2, guys, she does not need an introduction. We know her on Instagram. So many people follow her. She just made her channel. Anna reads comics at 266 subscribers, guys. Finally, she's on YouTube. It's awesome to see her. She is so nice, man. And not only that, her name is dope because that's my wife's name, but with one N, not two N's. But go check out her channel, man. She's been collecting, reading comics for the last 5 years. She loves her X-Men books. I'm gonna tell you right now. But not only that, man, she loves Indies, DC, and all that stuff. So feel free to check her out. And I don't know why wouldn't you? All right. So at number 2, that was Anna Reads Comics, 266 subscribers. And at number 1, we had Golden Apple Comics at 132. And now let's introduce our special guest from Toronto. Here he comes. Here he is, man.
Hey guys.
My home. What is going on, sir? How's things going over there?
I'm hanging in there, Rod. How are you? How's the sound?
I'm tired, but you know what? I'm ready for the storm if it hits us. But you know,
Yeah.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah, my wife's got some family down there. She's been keeping close tabs on it.
Sweet. Gotcha, man. You gotta
Yeah.
keep an eye, man. So if people don't know Exploding Earth Comics, here he is right now. We'll give him a minute to talk about his channel, and if, just in case you don't know who he is, he's going to talk about it. So feel free to talk, man.
Okay, so Exploding Earth started as a podcast that, my friend Nick and myself started doing, I guess, about a year ago. And maybe about 3 or 4 months ago, my wife and I, who also do a podcast called Quick Flips Indie Comic Podcast, we decided, let's just give the video thing a try. We hopped on YouTube. We started with a new series that we produced over one day that Nick did called Debate Comics, and we actually just did a bunch of those. I'm editing them, or I'm editing another show, but I'm editing those too. And then we started doing the new Comic Book Day Top 5, which I think is the first thing that you saw that we did. You reached out to me through that. And we've just been having so much fun with it that we just keep adding more content. The goal of the channel basically was just to have the conversations that we'd been having either on the podcast or that we have in our LCSs, and answer the questions that we ask when we go into an LCS or when we talk to other people in the community. So right now, all of our projects are that we're bringing in right now are all resource focused. So we've started I don't know if you've seen that Spider-Man video we did, that affordable Spider-Man keys video. We're gonna do. I've got like 20 scripts ready to rock and roll for that. We're gonna do a whole bunch of them, and we're bringing in that. We're bringing in a new show that's because I like playing games, so it's a debate / comic drafting show. It's like sports drafting, but we do it with comic books, and we draft them on either spec or love, and then we debate who has the better list. But really what that is just a fun way to share knowledge more so than anything else. So, because I don't like being talked down to, and for example, why I got into your channel was for that reason, because all the time you're like, I don't know, let's look into it. And then you would, you'd have a conversation with someone, and that's how I would learn about stuff, or you would learn about stuff, etc. Right. Exactly. So that's what we try and do. And we've been doing this now for about 4 months. Thank you, Rod, for helping us hit our first 100. Yeah, and that's kind of what we're doing. I'm sure we'll talk about it more. I kind of want to talk a little bit about this show that I've wrangled you into doing a cold open for us. So yeah, sure. So that you kind of know what I'm getting you into. So if you need to bail, you're like, oh, I don't want to be part of that. But yeah,
I'm down for anything, what we're doing. Man. I'm down for anything, man. You know that already.
Right. So
let me jump back into the chat real quick, sir. And let's see here. The Comic Book Homie in the house. What's up, JP Budget Collecting? What is going on, homie? Thank you for hanging out with us as always. Comic Shop News, I already mentioned you, and I think that is it, guys. Don't forget, man, check out everyone's channel in the chat, guys, if you haven't already. But we're gonna jump into number 3 right now on the shoutouts, and then we jump back into the special guest. Yo, if you're ever in Florida, down Clearwater, you need to check out this LCS. This place is epic. Emerald City Comics Man, their channel is small. They only got 83 subscribers, but they've been supporting the community with comic books since 1989. So
Nice.
next time I go to the beach, I know where I'm headed to. I'm headed to Emerald City, man. That's where I'm going. I think Perry's been there. Perry's Comics mentioned that to me recently, and I said, "Yo, I just haven't got around there recently, but I'm going to. I'm going to, man. I'm going to.
Uh,
Got to support the LCS, man. I mean, how are the stores over there in Toronto? Fill me in about that stuff.
well, we have a ton of great stores. I'm actually north of the city now. When I had my first daughter, we moved north of the city. But uh, in terms of like what we have in downtown, we have a bunch of amazing stores. A lot of people know the Silver Snail because it's a huge name. It's been there forever. There's a really good store on the West End. I used to live in the Junction. I think it's called West End Comics, but don't quote me on that. I'll rep them in a video if I got it wrong. They're
Yeah, don't
really
do that, man.
they're amazing for back issues. My LCS right now is actually in Mississauga. It's called Gotham Central. But because I've been working so much, I've actually been checking out both Legend Warehouse and um, there's another Cyber City Comics, both in Vaughan. So there's tons of stuff in around the GTA, and there's tons of comic readers. So it's amazing. You can always. I was at a gas station, ended up having. I was wearing this shirt, and ended up having a 25-minute conversation with a guy about X-Men. It was amazing. So it's for people who say it's a niche market, they don't get what how rabid the fans are. It doesn't feel like a niche market. It really doesn't. Comics, that
Right.
is. Well, yeah, up here it's great.
Yeah, I haven't been there. One day, maybe me and the wife need to take a vacation and check out Toronto and all that stuff. I know it's a big hockey town. I know you're a big hockey
Yep.
fan, and
I am, but I've been staying out of it this year. I don't even know if they've signed Marner or not, so I'll be surprised when the puck drops in the preseason.
oh
But
yeah,
yeah, I'm a big hockey fan.
I feel you, man. I feel you. At number four, guys, let's give a shout out to Amsterdam Comic Geek. He's at 59 subscribers, guys. The cool thing about him is Michael, he's in his 40s, just like myself, but he's a freelancer journalist and an author. And ever since he's been a kid, he's always been fascinated with, of course, comic books. And he's interviewed great people. So check out his channel. And he loves some Spider-Man. So you might want to, if you're into Spidey, who's not? So check out Amsterdam Comic. The guy, he knows some things, man. He's very, very knowledgeable on his stuff. So check him out. Amsterdam Comics Geek across the pond at 59 subscribers. Michael, I'm gonna try to pronounce his last name. Miniboo. Minneboo. So I don't know. I gave it a shot there. So that's my Dutch homie, man. That's my Dutch homie out there across the pond. So let's see here. A few more people jumping in the chat. Nicholas Romita in the house. What's going on? Jake.
That's Nick from our show.
Oh, that's right. That's what I was like. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah,
That
yeah.
name look familiar.
That's our ginger Italian right there.
And Boat Right Family in Comics. What's going on? All right. Nice to see the people hanging out, supporting the channel, and that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, we've been repping it pretty hard today. We've got it posted on all the Twitters and all the, Instagrams and all that stuff. So hopefully we help fill the chat a little bit today.
Maybe if I can send him, if he wants to jump on, we can send him an email. It's up to Nick if he wants to do that. So I don't know. I don't know if we can share the link, but we'll figure it out. If he wants to jump in, he'll send up a message here. Let's see here. All right. So let's see here, man. So what are you reading lately now these days? What books are your pull list? What are you reading? Are you DC,
Uh,
Indies, Marvel? What you got, man? What you reading?
yeah, I'm reading a ton of stuff. Actually, well, yesterday I finally got caught up on Absolute Carnage. I read the first two issues of the main storyline. I also read that the offshoot storyline that came out. I think it was last week. The one with the little girl and she brings the symbiote dog into the house. I thought that was
Oh,
kind of cool, actually. I was at first I was a little bit scared about having so many Absolute Carnage tie-ins, but that was kind of a cool story, and there's some good stuff. Um, you know, the new Die just came out. I haven't read that yet. I think I'm a few issues behind in Gideon Falls, but I'm trying to get caught up on a bunch of stuff. I got caught up on Action Comics this week. I read
Sweet,
3 or
sweet.
4 issues that I had sitting on my nightstand. So yeah, I'm slowly getting caught up on a ton of stuff. Because I know you feel the same way. Like you always end up buying like way more than you have time to read in a week, right?
Always, always,
That's
always.
actually why I stopped buying digital too, because I would just like click the button and the next thing you know, you've got like so much stuff in there that you never get to it. So I've gone back to floppies completely. No more digital at all because of yeah.
Yeah, and so I get my homies on Perry and Edwin. They always crap on me because I'm always saying I'm behind my reading. They go, "What else is new, Rod? You're always behind on something." I'm like, "Well, I got a lot of books to read, man. Got a lot of books to read." And there he is right now. Perry Comics telling me to do a rapid fire. Rapid fire.
Oh yeah, like
are you ready for this, man?
Yeah, sure, whatever. I saw the one you did with Perry and Comic Tom yesterday, so I think I have an idea what you're gonna throw at me more or less. So
All right. So what we'll do is
if I fail terribly, hopefully no one holds it against me.
Oh yeah, Perry got me at the end of the show last night, and I was like, "Oh damn, I wasn't ready for this." And I think I said my favorite writer was Tom King. That was the first thing that came to my head, probably the worst writer right now. But it's just things happen. But it's called Rapid Fire. 5 questions.
Oh no!
Get ready. So we got it's gonna be your favorite villain, movie, writer, artist, and your favorite food. So it's gonna be interesting. So your favorite villain, rapid fire. Here it is. And his camera went out. My favorite villain, man, I don't know right now. We'll get back to it. Let's jump to the chat. Let's see what's going on. Cobra Comics in the house. What is going on? Jeff Comic 813. I hope you're doing well over there in Tampa. I think that's where you're at. Toro, what is going on? Let's keep it going here. All right, he's having a bad signal, but he's popping up right now. I see it. All right. And before we keep moving forward here, we have one more shout out to give, but I'm gonna run down the list so far. So at number 1, we had Golden Apple Comics at 132 subscribers. If you're ever in Los Angeles, that's the place you want to be. The people have been supporting that community for 40 years. So check out their stuff, man. They just love hanging out in their shop and talking about comic books and stuff like that. It's a place where I want to hang out at, should I say. At number 2, guys, she does not need an introduction. You already know who she is. Anna Reed's Comics. She's got her channel finally, man. At number 3, Emerald City Comics over in Clearwater, man. Check them out if you're by the beach right now. Swing by to the shop. Check it out. At number 4, from across the pond, Amsterdam Comic Geek. Amsterdam Comic Geek at 59 subscribers. My homie Michael is an awesome dude, man. He's a journalist, an author. So if you're into stuff like that, into Spidey, that's the boy you want to check. All right. And then at number 5, we'll end it right now with number 5 shout out. Then we bring back Exploding Earth Comics. I'll put him in here right now. There he is. But at number 5, Old Man Comic Guy 170. Yeah. So when you go to his channel, all right, so he just shows like a lot of his pickups, but when you hear his voice, you might laugh. That's the funny thing about it, but it's entertaining. So you feel free, check him out, Old Man Comic Guy at 170 subscribers. I gotta put all their links in the description below. Didn't have time to do that, but I will fix that. But you trying to get away from the rapid fire, man? Can't get away from the rapid fire.
No, dude, I apologize. I'm on my cell. I was trying to get my hands on my webcam, but it's in Toronto, and I wasn't able to get down there on Friday. So we're on, cell phone. I do apologize. Also, my wife walked down the hall to tell me how dark it was. She turned the light on, so hopefully that helps a little bit with the video. It's funny.
Yeah, she's the biggest.
So everyone from Exploding Earths is in the chat, I think, because Nick's in there, Paula, my wife, is in there, and I think East is in there too, who you're going to meet soon for the show that you're doing the cold open for.
Awesome, man. Yeah. I'm so happy that everyone's hanging out with us. Comic Geek McD from across the pond over in the UK in the house, man. What is up, man? Thank you all for hanging out. This is the Combo Community Shout Out Show. Mr. Gresky in the house. Man, hello, sir. All right, man. And there's that's your wife, right, Paula?
Yeah.
There she
There she
is.
is. Yeah.
All right, he's back. Yeah. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
We got a rapid fire.
Yeah.
All
Let's
right,
do it.
man. Favorite villain right now or all time, whatever. Favorite villain.
Favorite villain? Let's go Magneto.
There it is.
Easy.
Your favorite movie?
RoboCop. Paul
Good
Verhoeven.
one. Original
Yeah.
or remake?
Yeah, the Verhoeven, Peter Weller,
Okay.
84. Is that what it is? If I'm wrong on that, I'm gonna kick my butt later.
Nah, it's in the 80s though. It's all right. All right.
Yeah.
Your favorite writer?
Probably. Let's go. This is really bad. Not rapid fire. I'm trying to just think of anyone else. Kieran
That's
Gillen.
all right.
Kieran Gillen.
We'll come back to it. All right, we'll switch it
Kieran
up.
Gillen. Let's go with
All
that.
right. Okay.
I've been reading a lot of stuff lately. Or Lemire, because got to rep the Toronto boys, right?
You got to, man. You got to support them, man. All right. Favorite food? That's a little easier one.
I kind of piggybacked on Bake the Snake in your chat last night, so I'm gonna.
He's using his cell phone, so that's why we're having the issues. All right, guys. So if he kicks out, he was.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. We hear you.
I'm going outside. I'm going on data just to keep this thing going. I really apologize, Rod.
Nah, it's all good. Your favorite food, man. The favorite food.
Cheeseburgers. Let's do that.
All right,
but they have to be with the fries. That's the trick, right? You got to have both of them. It's not fair to just have the one.
Yeah, my wife, she's a big cheeseburger fan. That's her comfort food. It's like I told her today. I said, "What we're eating for dinner?" She's like, "Why you gotta ask me? If you're gonna ask me, I want a damn Whopper." And I'm like, again with the burger, you know.
Yeah.
And your favorite artist, like your favorite artist?
Probably Sing Cabbage. I was thinking about that. Yeah, probably Sing Cabbage.
All right,
X-Men kid.
All right, bunch of more people.
I like the way he does Batman too.
For sure.
I like his Batman.
So we got poor Mike in the house, another Floridian. I hope everything is doing well for you with this weather. And let's see here. All right. So this is where how should I say? If the people don't follow you, man, give them a reason to follow your channel and to subscribe to you. What is it that makes your channel different from all of us? I mean, and how often do you drop your videos, your schedules, and stuff like that? Any upcoming projects? I know you got a lot of things, man, going on. I know you do.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to be part of something. So I can't wait. And I've been slacking. I ain't gonna lie. I've been slacking on it too. So
yeah. Okay. So as of this week, we're going back to the new Comic Book Day Top 5 is going to be every Monday. With Debate Comics every other Wednesday. That's a talk show kind of thing where Nick and I in split screen kind of yell at each other about ridiculous things about comics. You talked about hockey earlier. I know we have one coming up where we draft our own DC and Marvel hockey teams. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We have I guess in 3 weeks from now, we're going to try and be ready to rock and roll on 3 videos a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The Friday video will either be that Affordable Keys series I mentioned to you earlier, where we highlight books that could become keys or that are keys, but maybe are a little bit more affordable for those like me who have a handful of kids and like yourself, right? And maybe not spending millions of dollars in the comic shop, but want to have cool books in their collection. And then every 3rd week within that, we're going to do that debate show that I was talking about, the half debate, half comic book drafting show. Hosted by our friend East, who we've been working with back since we were doing podcasts on movies. And that's going to be every 3rd Friday of every month, I believe. We're going to drop 3 episodes the first week. So it'll be your episode and 2 other shows that we're going to do. So we talked about a Spidey one, right? And then I've got a Batman one and a TMNT one dropping that week. And then we're going to roll out once a month on that in between the Affordable Keys. So there's going to be lots of stuff there. and then we're gonna hop back into doing Paula's show as well, which is an audio only show. So that's a podcast about strictly indie comics, what we're reading right now, and what's going on with the smaller publishers. So yeah,
But indie books are
that's
better.
the big plan. Oh yeah, that was how I baited my wife Paula into reading comics. Was like, but look at this, because she's an artist herself, and she loves lowbrow art. And so when I showed her stuff that was kind of similar to that art movement, and sci-fi stuff, and dystopian future stuff, and she's like, okay, let's talk about this. And so she got big, heavy into a bunch of books off the bat, and has really kind of become a champion for a lot of uh, you know indie publishers in our community, which is sweet. Uh, in our personal community here, yeah. So it's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, man. It's nice to see that the wife is doing something. You know, my wife,
Well,
she lives. Go
sorry,
ahead.
she's been more involved in the arts community than me forever. Like, that's how we met. She was a photographer, and I was playing in a rock band. She was already involved in the arts. I'm just an idiot with a guitar that likes, the funny papers. So yeah, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like she loves the movies, man. I'm like, you gotta read this. I'll tell her to read it. And she'll just look at me, and be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
whatever. And I'll be like, well, I gotta talk to someone. I said, you're my wife. You're here with me. You gonna listen to me or not? Either
yeah.
that or to get on the phone and call my buddies up. So she just like, yeah, yeah. But
No, I totally feel you.
yeah, it's like the biggest supporter is the wifey, and that's awesome. That's the key, man. So
Yeah, she loves when every week when I go to do the new comic book day top five, which I've missed the last couple of weeks, by the way. I know you know this, but I accidentally corrupted all of our project files, so we're back with everything this week. But she's always like, "Hey, can I voice that? Hey, I've got some picks for this week. Let's do this." Kind of thing. She keeps me really grounded, and wants to do the work more than I do. So
right, that's pretty cool. It was
she keeps it fun.
well, that's what you need. You need some fun with it. It's like my wife, she left now. She had to go to her mom's house to fix some things up there because there's some issues going
Right on.
on. But I know she was kind of upset. Now she just sent me a text and she just said, "I'm sorry, babe. I forgot to tell you. I hope you have a good show." But I know she wanted me to be with her,
Right
but
on.
then she realized, you know what? This is what I do. So she's my biggest supporter. So
Yeah, man.
all right. So
That's awesome.
let's see here if anyone has a question for my brother right now. Feel free, guys. If you have a question, drop the question right now. We'll ask, Exploding Earth Comics in the house, man. And make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way, when his stuff comes out, it's gonna pop up on your phone, your laptop, your computer, no matter where you at. Not only that, his wife and everyone and everybody that works with him, man. You're gonna see their stuff.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, Matt from the Crossover Podcast, another guy who jumps on our shows a lot. Shout out to him if he's out there. And I'm sorry I'm not in the chat, by the way, guys. I feel like I'm always creeping in your chats, and the one show I'm on, I'm not in your chat. So sorry, but yeah, that's another cat that helps us out a lot, and he's going to be back to do some stuff with us again in the new year. So he does like a sports/comics podcast. He's awesome.
Okay. Sweet,
Yeah,
sweet.
man.
There was people saying, Rod, can we ask something about exploding Earth? Sure, feel free. I guess what's the question? How you came up with exploding Earth? I mean, the name itself.
Uh, I can't remember, to be honest. Like, um, so we used to do this movie podcast called, and we still kind of do, called Movies From My Life.
Okay.
And Nick always had the idea of just calling whatever we did, if we wanted to do a TV show, call it Ruin My Life. If we do a comic show, Comics Ruin My Life, kind of thing. And then for whatever reason, we just didn't do that. And I can't remember where Exploding Earth came from. I think it had something to do with the idea of all multiverses, and like all, we did an early episode where Nick did this like real, bravado voiceover where he was like, throughout multiple comic universes, there are people and like all this, we were just having fun with it. So I think that's how we came up with exploding Earths plural, because there's Earths exploding everywhere, and we're reading about all of them, or something like that, something cheesy that we would think was funny. But yeah, it just sounds cool now.
That's cool. Just a little podcast is asking, how do you deal with that crazy cold weather? I love the cold.
My favorite time of year is the autumn. Yeah. There's a lot of good things that happen in the cold weather. So hockey, for example. So keeps me. You stay inside. That's how you deal with it. Winter tires.
See, I'd rather have the snow before this hurricane. That's the way I look at things. The snow, man. I'd rather shovel snow but man, this hurricane just got me on toes. I'll pace back and forth throughout the day. Just rain, just get this thing over with already.
Yeah.
All right. So
I see the comment there. And also, I totally spelt exploding wrong when I typed it into the user bar. I love that someone totally just caught that. Apologies on that one. I was typing on my cell phone. I think it auto-typed, or I'm just dumb.
Nah, don't worry. I got
exploding.
I got fat fingers, and my fat fingers, I want to type certain words, and they just come out. Like I like to put I like or live, and I end up putting love. Then I'll have my friends be like, "Why do you love me?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, man. Look at these thumbs; they're fat, man."
Yeah. I have really long fingers from playing guitar. Well, not from playing guitar, but makes me decent at playing guitar. And but yeah, it's terrible. I'll hit like 4 buttons at the same time, and people will have no idea what I'm talking about. Sorry about that.
It's all good, man. No need to apologize. The community knows what's going on. But Comic D,
not exactly good promotion, though.
That's all right, man. It's all love here. It's all love, man. It's all love.
Yeah.
So Comic D McD is asking, are you more of a DC or Marvel guy? That sounds like a rapid question. One answer: DC or Marvel?
Yeah, right now Marvel. You asked me this 6 months ago, would have been DC.
All right. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm looking at more questions here. They're flying in here. Let me see. All right, let's see here. We got, if you would write a comic book, what will be your main genre?
Absolutely horror. I actually submitted a short story to Ahoy Comics about that I was hoping to sneak into maybe Edgar Allan Poe's Snifter of Terror or something like that. They actually replied to me and were like, "No, you suck." But are
you serious?
No, they actually said that they read it a couple times and decided to not use it, which is cool. It was pretty dark. It was like about this like this guy who finds this creature on the side of the road kind of thing, and he crawled out of like a tobacco field, and but you don't know what this creature is. At first you think it's just a puppy or something like that, and then it kind of goes through, and at the end of the climax of that short story is like they end up, this thing grows so big that it drags the one of the tobacco field owner's sons, he kills him. He drags him back to the car, and he has to dispose of the body and stuff. It's terrible. But yeah, so horror. That would be my answer.
Horror. All right. I see it. I see how that's going. Sure. Pretty neat. So hey, there's a fan base for it too, so.
Oh, totally. Can I give a quick shout out, by the way?
Definite, man.
I just want to say hey to Jonathan Kachuba, a great indie artist and creator. I actually just was reading his latest book that he sent up to Paula and I, as well as he sent his first one, all of this, up to us. He's got a really, really unique style. I know he's getting more into the horror field. That's why I thought of it. But I've been trying to get a video going, just talking about some of his work, because he's been a good friend of ours for a long time, and I really wanted to highlight some of his stuff, but I haven't. So if you're watching, John, I'm gonna I'm gonna get around to it, because he's an amazing artist. If you can check him out, check out Jonathan Kachuba, KOCIUBA.com. He's got some amazing art up there and some amazing work that he's done. So yeah.
And he does commission. I assume he does commission stuff as well. I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And he does some great horror stuff now too. He sent us the envelope, had this amazing drawing of Pennywise on it. Pennywise the Clown. Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
Just a little podcast asking another question. What is your favorite comic you own?
that I own right now.
Yes.
I think I actually told you this, Rod. As silly as it is, I know it doesn't have a lot of monetary value, but and I thought I had two when I told you this, but I actually have three copies of Army of Darkness #1.
Yeah.
It's just a book that I keep buying. I love the Evil Dead franchise so much, and the more copies of that I have in my collection, the better for me. You know, so that's kind of one that like I'll probably never sell those. If anything, I'll give them away.
Oh, there it is, a
Because
giveaway, huh?
yeah, there you go. Yeah,
There it
but
is.
I would never sell them because I don't even want to put a value on them because there's just I just love Evil Dead. So yeah, that's probably the coolest thing I have in my collection.
That is a great movie. The Evil Dead. That's classic stuff right there, man. Very classic stuff.
There's been some great crossover comics too. There was a Ash Bubba Hotep recently. Wasn't there like a Kiss Army of Darkness crossover too?
Yeah, I read the Ash one, and I was just like,
yeah.
That was really different. I was like, man, I wasn't expecting that. I think it was Ash and who was the other person in that book? What did I say? Was the Crow?
Oh, Eric in the movie, Eric Draven. In the comic, just Eric. Yeah. I'm a big James O'Barr fan, big time. Right. His son actually went to OCAD. Don't ask me why I know that. I had a friend that went there at the same time as him, Ontario College of Art and Design.
Sweet.
But yeah, big James O'Barr fan.
Sweet.
Yeah, love the Crow. I have the kitchen sink or trade around here somewhere, I think.
Nice. Jim Boatwright.
Oh, by the way,
do it
on the Crow. That's how I learned. There was a story about this that I did. That's how I learned how to play an A minor pentatonic scale. Was from that movie, or an E minor pentatonic scale, from that movie. Because I thought like, oh, this is a useless blues scale. I don't need to do this, whatever, right? And then I heard that lick in that movie where he's on the rooftop and he's doing that, like, you know, I'm doing it with the wrong hand because I'm left-handed, but that thing where it's that's an E minor pentatonic. And when I figured that out, I was like, okay, fine, I'll learn how to play scales. And like, I wouldn't be able to play lead guitar at all. It wasn't because of that movie. So,
dude, that is pretty sick, man. That is awesome.
Yeah.
There's a question from Boatwright Family and Comics. Do you have a Holy Grail? I mean, one day I want.
Yeah, I have a couple.
Oh,
yeah.
What you got?
I have a few. I'd like to own ASM-1 because of Peter Palmer, the backup story, the Chameleon Strikes story, the name mess up. I like that kind of stuff. I'd like to own FF-25, I think. Robert or Bob Banner, and then later he became, Bob or Robert Bruce Banner because of that mistake. I like that kind of stuff. I like the weird history stuff. That actually does come up in that new series again that we're dropping soon. Both of those came up because Nick tried to use one against me. So yeah, and I'd like to own. I've never owned a first printing of like TMNT #1. Both Nick and I have owned like later printings of it, and he has like all the omnibuses and stuff like that because he doesn't have children. But yeah, that I had to actually sell that a long time ago, so I would love to get my hands on a first printing. That's one that I'd actually like pay. I'd pay out the nose, for sure.
I think one of my holy grails that I have is just I would say my New Mutants '98. I had to change my whole setup here because because of the storm, and right now I'm in this little corner here, and that's this stuff that is just a disaster in this room. But yeah, New Mutants '98 it's not slabbed or anything, but that's just my baby,
It's a cool book. Like for me, in terms of Deadpool, I'd probably, I like the Joe Kelly run. Is that the Spider-Man homage cover? Is that #1 of that? The Deadpool run? I'd like that one. That would be a cool one to have that I don't have and I've never owned as far as Deadpool goes.
There's a question from Perry Comics. Rod, do you read Deadpool? Not really. But I do have that book. This book is very meaningful to me.
Yeah, There's some good Deadpool though, man. Like, and Rod knows that. Or sorry, Perry knows that. My
Oh
apologies.
yeah,
But yeah, like, there's some really good Deadpool stuff. You can use the character really well. It's just, um, you know, a
yeah.
lot of people don't.
Perry is just one of the biggest Marvel fans ever. He loves his Marvel books.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does, man. He loves it. Look
I
at
caught the stream of him and John's Comics with Kids talking about the first wave of Immortal Hulk. John's Comics with Kids got him to read got the first wave. Yeah. And like, he's totally right though about the Green Door thing. Like, that's the most frustrating thing about issue 2 is like, why are you spending so much time on like the least interesting stuff in that issue? But also, I think that makes it charming because like the series is just getting its footing. But he's totally right.
Okay, well there you go, Perry. You get a shout out. You get a shout out. Just Little Podcast said, tell him, Rod, tell him about Daredevil. Are you reading Daredevil?
I have read some of Zdarsky's run because again, I have a soft spot for Steve Murray. Like, when I was going to school, he was writing for the National Post, I think, right? So pretty much anything with Chip Zdarsky on it, and I'll read it. But I'm behind. I've read the first 2 issues, if I'm not mistaken, and they're really freaking good. But I got to get caught up. I've heard you talking about it though, so.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, you know what? Perry can say whatever he wants. The blind man, but the blind man still rocks, man. I
It's
have
like
to
Sonar.
exactly. You know.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see here. Spider-Man Life Story, great book. That is a great book. Have you been reading that one?
Yeah, man.
Spider-Man Life
Oh,
Story.
absolutely. Yeah. Nick and I were actually just talking about it to East when we were recording again the show that we've baited you into being a part of. But yeah, absolutely been reading that. He's killing it with that series. I love the idea is so simple but also so fresh. Like, what I think is it the 90s where he starts getting the gut a little bit. I'm trying to think because I know he has a bit of a gut in the later issues. I don't think I read the aughts one, the last 2, so the 2000s one and then the 10s, which I think just dropped, right?
Yeah,
But
that one just dropped. I have not picked that one up. That's my
yeah.
I should be getting that in the mail. But yeah, the gut.
Yeah,
That's a
I think he's got a gut in the later ones, right?
yeah,
When he
he
gets a little
does.
bit
Now
older.
you
Yeah.
mentioned that. I'm like, wait a minute. He does have a little gut on him, but it's so funny
Yeah.
that you bring that up.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's totally, what Chip would do with that.
All right, see here. His Perry said, "What other hero would you like to see a life story of?" I feel like we are
Ooh.
going to get more of these. That is very interesting. Man, I
Yeah.
never even thought about that. A life story. Maybe let me see here. Um, a life story. How about we switch? I would switch and do something with like maybe like Batman or something because we see a bunch of Superman stuff out there with his year one, but a life
Yeah.
story with Batman would be pretty interesting. But
Well, have you read X-Men Grand Design, by the way? Ed
I
Piscor.
read the first book that dropped and it was a little out there.
Yeah. Um. He has a podcast too, right? He has that. Someone just put me onto that little cartoonist kayfabe, I think it's called, and
Oh,
he has the YouTube channel as well, right?
that sounds
Um.
accurate.
Yeah, but Ed Piscor, his X-Men Grand Design is like, if we could do something like that, with any character, it would be really interesting. Where like you take a bunch of the classic stories, and then and try and make them like one part of continuity that'll happen. So off the top of my head, I was actually thinking Carol Danvers would be really cool because then you could do all of like you could do Miss Marvel, you could do Binary. You could do is it Warbird? Am I getting that right? And then like Captain Marvel, etc. Right? You could do that as if it was one story and that was all intended. And it wasn't just people, like it wasn't just Chris Claremont being like, "Hey, you're treating this character like crap," and then it wasn't just like we need a female Captain Marvel, or if it was just, which I'm not saying it was that, but you know what I mean.
Right, yeah.
Um, if you could make it into one cohesive story, I think that would actually be a really, really, really cool cool idea with Carol Danvers. You know, because like she has a really fractured comic, you know, backstory. It's very
Right.
hard for people to actually get into, you know, which is
Yeah.
frustrating.
I'm just looking at my dog. I think she senses it's about to start raining, so she's trying to
Yeah,
hear me.
it's starting to spit a bit here too.
Oh yeah, it's just started raining. All right, so we got 15 minutes left, sir. Yo, this is where you did take the show, man, and tell these people get ready because Exploding Earth Comics is about to blow up, and I want you to talk about whatever you want right now, and it's all about you, brother.
Okay. Wow.
No, I'm
Well,
just kidding. I'm just kidding. I won't.
sitting out on my back stoop.
Let
It's like
them
the
know,
least
man. Let them know
interesting
what you
comic
got,
video ever.
man. And tell them again, subscribe to the channel, man, and hit that like
Yeah.
button when they watch your stuff. Because come here, girl. Oh,
What's her name?
Carmela.
Carmela, right on.
She is the beast, but not really. But anyway. Oh God, getting ready for this. Now it's raining. It's raining.
Is it coming?
So
Sorry. Am I supposed to talk about myself now?
yeah, man. Let them know, man.
Okay.
Let them know. Before we end the show, this is like I like
All
to
right.
let you take care of it and just let them know why they should be following you and subscribing, and let them know your upcoming projects and make sure to subscribe to you. Most important.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay, so if you like what we've been talking about so far, you can find us really easily by actually just typing in explodingearth.com/YouTube in your web browser, and that's going to take you right to our YouTube channel, and also pop a little subscribe button up. Nice and easy. Additionally, oh, my mic turned off, so hopefully my sound didn't change too much. But yeah, whatever. I know you. But in terms of new projects that we have coming up, I just revamped all of our videos. So we're going to have a new look to debate comics. It looks really slick. I'm really excited about some of the fun stuff that Nick brought to the table with that series. It's just the two of us talking about the most ridiculous things that you can think about with regards to comic books. So draft a hockey team. Who's your favorite, or who would you cast in a Marvel slasher flick? Like who would be your final girl, like this kind of thing, right? And then we've got the show C3XE that we're working on now. That's basically, like I said, this a mix of something that Nick was talking about, which is like a drafting concept, and then the debate. And we talk absolute garbage about books that we love, and we also boost up books that we don't love that much to try and win. I think I told Nick that a Nightfall book should be in the dollar bin. I told him that Web of Spider-Man #1 is like the reason for the bubble or something like that. Like, we just went off. So I'm really, really excited for people to check that series out. It's kind of, we try and make it look like a old video game kind of thing. And yeah, we've got the new Comic Book Day Top 5. I don't know if I said that every week. We've got the Affordable Keys coming. We're going to get back into doing some more movie commentary probably in a few months. We also have my vlog, so if you like hearing me ramble like I am now and get overly excited about comics and stuff like that, then you can find me arbitrarily there. In terms of information stuff we have coming, we have a huge thing coming on just, you know, making the right choices when you're slabbing your book. So do you have a book signed, but maybe it's not, you know, you didn't go through a CGC authentication? What are your choices? Well, also, is it magazine size? Well, that's going to present a problem if you want to go with CBCS, something like that. So we're going to kind of have a conversation about what all the different labels mean, what all the different companies, what they offer, and hopefully help people make informed decisions on that front. Because I know Nick is getting a bunch of books slab right now, and that's what started the dialogue on it. Let's just do it as a video. And what else do we have coming? Tons of stuff, just tons of stuff. Hit the subscribe button on our channel. I think you're really going to like it. We have a ton of ideas. I've literally got something like 60 hours of backlog content and scripts that I'm editing every day.
And I really, really hope that you guys check it out and that you like it and that you give us suggestions on how we can get better and how we can make more content. And yeah, if we get to like the threshold for the live option streaming on YouTube, we'll do more of that as well. We'll start going live more. So yeah, I don't know. I like
Pretty
the
dope.
joke Perry just threw out, by the way.
Perry has always got some jokes. He said, "What will you find in Superman bathroom? Is Super Bowl?" Jesus,
Yeah, man.
guy, man.
That's
Oh,
funny.
God. I tell you, man, Perry he's off the chart. But man, guys, we're gonna end the show right now because I want to make sure I want to get out this room because it's all glass here. I want to get out this room, turn off the lights, and take the laptop out of here. And yo, Exploding Earth Comics, get ready, guys. It's gonna be exploding, all right. So make sure you hit that notification bell. And as always, guys, everyone in the chat, please check out their channels, subscribe to them, support. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. I'm your boy Rod the Rican. This is, I was gonna say buy or pass like it's Tuesday. No, it's not. This is Comic Book Community Shout Out Show. So if you know any channel out there under 1,000 subscribers that need a shout out, let me know, man. I'll be more than happy to shout them out. So with that being said, be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And don't go nowhere, buddy. Stay right there.